Thank you for joining me for another session on performance. Last week we looked at technique and building a foundation to get you ready for live performance. And this week we're going to look at the actual performance. So we're going to look at being prepared, what goes into the preparation. So we're going to look at tech, so all the gear that you'll be needing. We're going to look at set structure, and we're going to look at your role as the lead performer. And then we're going to look at how to deliver a performance. So the authentic self and getting what you want out of your delivery. So I brought along some goodies and we're just going to have a little look at them and see what they're for. This is a microphone. You've probably seen one before. Again, I don't mean to be patronising with your process. I'm sure that a lot of you have performed on stage before. But this is your standard SM58. It's used for live performance. And I'm just going to show you where to put it because quite impressively, a lot of people use microphones wrong. And the technique just means that you get the most sound and that people can hear you. So you see a lot of this and you see a lot of this. And yeah, basically, here's the trick. This is the inside of the microphone. So the sound goes directly into that spot there. So if you're holding it like this, the noise is going to go across and not directly into the mic, so it's directional. And if you are holding it like that, then there's nowhere for the sound to go in either. So essentially, the best place for a mic to be is there, because you're staying in line with the direction of the microphone, and then everyone's going to hear what you have to say. Wonderful. I've also brought along monitoring equipment because you're going to have your mic and that's where your sound is going to be going in, and then your sound needs to be fed back to you because you need to be able to hear yourself. There are two options for this. The first is the classic wedge, and this is just a speaker. It's also got a monitor. This is a speaker that's on its side, sat on the floor in front of you. So you'll be stood in front of it. If you're using a wedge, it means that your sound is going to be potentially quite limited because you are going to have a full band behind you or some decks and massive speakers. So you want to make sure that this is pointing directly at your face. You want to be having enough distance between you and the speaker. You need the distance because the sound needs to be able to reach you. I also would recommend making sure that your mix is spot on. So your high frequencies are probably going to hit you more than those low bass notes. You want to be able to feel the bass notes in your legs, and you want to be able to hear the high frequencies. So if you are lucky or you have the chance to be able to afford or to borrow some in-ear monitors, go and get yourself some. They might have them on the desk at the venue. So you can request in-ear monitors, and if they don't have them, they don't have them. But you can also buy your own. So you've probably seen these used before. This is a wireless monitor pack. So I would plug my in-ears into them. These are your pretty bog standard Shure headphones, really. And they just go over your ear. Take my glasses off. They go over your ear like that. And then you plug it in there. And you clip that on your pants or whatever. I won't go into whether you do your own mix or whether they do it for you. There's options for that. But then what you'll also have is this box, which is your wireless box, and the XLR will run out of the desk into this box, and this is where you control your volume for your pack. So this is a Shure model. It's fine. It's your bog standard. It's quite cheap. And when I say quite cheap, it's like a few £100, but it is so worth it. Honestly, your voice is so much safer. Okay, so we've looked at tech, and we're going to quickly whiz through set structure. Basically, all of the things that I'm going to be talking about are techniques to just getting you to feel as comfortable as possible when you're about to perform. So I want you to structure your set sensibly. Where are the big songs? Where are the songs that you struggle with? Where are the more vulnerable songs that you need a lot of breath for? Making sure that they are each placed in a way that makes sense within your set. And that your band are aware of what is going on. So a band that's asking questions every single song, what song's next, what song's next, is going to throw you off quite a lot. Which brings me into talking about your role as a performer on stage. You are two things. You are the band leader. This is if you have a band. It works the same for if you have someone on decks, because you still have to be in communication with them. So you are a band leader. You are leading the band. You're in charge, and that requires you to be in good communication with the band. When I do gigs, we have like quite clear hand signals for when things are happening, like stop or repeat the section or go back to the top. You have to be the person that's listening out for what is going on, like when's the guitar solo going to wrap up, right, you need to bring it back into the next verse, etc. So that is your role. And the more clear you are with the communication with your band, the easier it's going to be for you. And actually, it's well empowering. I find it really empowering to be in front of a band going, I'm in charge of this song. I really enjoy that. And also the other role that you are is the bridge. You're the bridge between the band, the more acting role of you on stage, and the audience. So you're this bridge between all of these worlds, this technical world of this band that's having this collective work ethic that you have to be involved in. You are then presenting yourself to an audience to entertain them or make them feel a certain way, and you have to hold everyone in this space. And to be honest, it's quite tough. I definitely have found it difficult to bridge all those worlds and be responsible for all those worlds. So I think it's really important that you know why it is that you're doing this and what it is that you want to get from and who you want to be when you're on stage. So we're going to talk a little bit about authenticity. Now, authenticity for me means, how do we let go of all of the stress of doing that, of being the band leader, of being the bridge, the anxiety of, are they going to like me? And the kind of imposed ideas of what we should be as a performer. The most incredible performances I've ever witnessed have come from people who show you their soul. They're expressing truth, their truth, and they own that. And that for me is the authentic self. They've let go of the anxiety and the ideals and the judgments, and they are giving you their truth. They're sharing with you who they are. And those performances for me are genreless and they're timeless, because you can connect to another human being no matter what kind of music they are playing to you. And I think that's what it's about. It's about like showing your humanity on stage. Obviously that sounds huge, and it sounds like, I don't want to be in charge of showing people my humanity. That's not my job. I just want to sing some songs. And that is also totally fine. If that's who you want to be and that's what you want to do on stage, then you're in it for the tech. And that is cool too. So I think it's about knowing where you sit and being comfortable with that. And also that's going to change. The more you play, the more you gig, you're going to maybe shift around, like, right, okay, today I just want to focus on the actual songs and being just very technical. And then next time I might want to express a little bit more about who I am as a human being. So I think it's important to always ask those questions. What do I want to say? And who am I doing this for? That gives you freedom. who am I doing this for? So I've gone through periods of my life where I've thought, oh, I'm still going through them now, let's be honest. Oh, I should impress this group of people and be like this, or I'm in a commercial place now, so I should behave like this. And when you're in a commercial place, you're being paid to be a particular way. I guess there's more of a shift there into being what people want you to be. But I think that it's always important to get back to the answer, I'm doing this for myself. I'm sharing myself in a way that feels safe to me with these people. That requires having boundaries. So I guess there's a lot about kind of figuring out what your boundaries are. When I get on stage, I love to be free. I love to be joyful. I love to just let it go. And some days that's great because I'm in the right mental state and that's cool. But there are some days when, no, I don't want to stand on the table and have you grab my hand. So I'm not going to put myself in that situation. So there can be an element of acting. Does that make you feel safe? Do you want to do a Bjork and put like this crazy costume on and then protect yourself in that way and be involved in this character? So who am I doing this for? That's something that I want you guys to ask yourselves. Like, why am I performing here? Who am I trying to impress? And then, what do I want to say? There's a big pressure, I think, to be saying something. You have to be useful. You have to be doing it for a reason. But as I said before, I think the sharing of humanity is so important, and music is a great space to bring people together. So I think what you want to say has to come from an authentic place as well. And again, it can change. So if I want to entertain people, that's how I feel today. I want to just have people have a good time. Then I'm going to build my set to be full of the bangers. And we're just going to have a really good time. And I'm going to talk messages of fun and I'm going to get people speaking to each other or whatever. Maybe one day, no, I want to hit people where it hurts. So again, I'm going to structure my set. It's going to be a lot more intimate. Maybe the lighting might change. Maybe the song is going to be drawn out more. I'm going to open up the structure to more improvisation or whatever. Or I'm going to sit in moments for longer. I want you to explore what it is that you want to say. And how do you want to say it? How do you get that message that you're trying to deliver across through all this technical strategy that you have? The last thing that I want to talk about with that is, who am I doing this for and what do I want to say? And authenticity. It's not easy. Things will kick up. You will feel insecure. You will feel worried about what your peers have to say about stuff. You'll feel worried that you're not going with the trend of the time and that people, management and whatever, want you to move in a particular direction that you're not comfortable with. And I think that that's tough, because when we write music, we open up our souls and we go, here, do you like me? And so when people go, no, that's not for me, that's heartbreaking. And that's why I think that asking those questions and setting those boundaries is so important, because it just gives us the space and the freedom to be able to go, where I'm at today, this is what I'm going to show you, and to share in an honest way with people. So I'm going to set you an exercise. I'd like you to record a video of you performing in your room, obviously, because we can't go anywhere else. Just one instrument, one track, something really simple and really intimate. And you're just going to perform it to camera. And you can give it as many tries as you like. I would recommend warming up, and that's warming up like with your voice and also with yourself. So like maybe doing half an hour of like jumping around or whatever. And then I want you to just perform to the camera as you are, or however you want to present. So if what you want to do is put on a veil and like go and scream at me, wonderful. But that's really goth. But I want you to give your truest self. And if it is jumping up and down, that's also totally, totally cool. But I want you to explore what happens when you ask the questions, who am I doing this for? And what do I want to say? I'm so excited to see your videos, and I will see you next time for more stuff on collaboration.